Hey, hi, hello, what's up? My name is Megan. Welcome to my channel. Today, I don't really know what we're doing. It started out as like I wanted to do a technical video with you guys, but then I tried something new and it wasn't working out, and I ended up not using techniques I normally use. So technical slash trying new products slash don't know what products to use slash get ready with me. It's a bit of a struggle, but this is a look I created. So if you want to see what products I used to create that, then make sure you stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave and ring the bell just so that you guys are notified of all my future uploads. And if you gave this video a big thumbs up, why do I say that? This video, like I can't say video. I don't know. Big thumbs up helps me out, and yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so like I mentioned, I thought this could be a little bit more of a technical video slash like step-by-step of how I do my makeup. I always start with letting my brows get some stuff in them, so I wet my spoolie and then I just coat it with this product. This is the honey glue from Pink Honey. I found that this does so far the best job with keeping my brows held up. It is a little finicky, so I have to be mindful of that. I swear it only sticks if I do it like a certain way, which is the way I'm doing now. Just running that through it, pushing the brows up hard, and then running it back through with my finger to lay them down, and that usually keeps them held up. Sometimes it doesn't, but that's the way so far that works best. And then I will just let them set while I continue to do the next steps in my makeup routine, which next step would be to go ahead and prime the eyes. So I'm using my Urban Decay Potion Primer. This is my favorite. I literally don't experience creasing with this unless the eyeshadow is absolute trash, and I can only count a handful of times where that has happened. So this is the one that I always recommend. It goes on really easily with your finger or your brush, and then it dries down sort of like a matte finish. So the palette that I think I want to try out today is the PatrickTa. This is the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. If you follow me on IG, then you know mine came absolutely shattered. So it looks beat up, but I have not used it yet. I did my best to clean it up because I just decided that a lot of people like this palette, but a lot of people also hated this palette. So I just decided to get a refund, keep the busted palette, and repair it, so that if I decided that I didn't like it or whatever, then I wouldn't have to return it and create that waste. I hate when I have to return stuff, but I'm not the person that's not going to return something expensive that doesn't work for me, because I'm not that rich. So I'm just going to try this shade right here to just set the base and see how that goes. I don't usually I'm assuming it's going to be some sort of like cream to powder. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this all over my eyes. Ooh, this is pretty dark for a starter shade, but oh well. It's blending pretty nicely, I will say. It does have it's a little tacky, a little sticky, a little push and pull going on. But overall, I mean, I think that looks nice. It's just like the starter shade, which is very, very deep. I think the other one would be way too deep for me on the base. So there's not really like a good setting shade in this, I don't feel like, because this has like shimmers in it and is like really soft. So I don't think that'd be a great one for me. But yeah, so I'm gonna just finish putting this on. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of this lighter shade down here, and I'm just gonna focus that up around in there to kind of hopefully blend the edges a little bit and soften it down. Like I said, I wasn't expecting that cream to be so deep, but so we're just working with what we got. Oh, well, I was going to do a technical video and then I used a palette that I've never used, so everything feels crazy. Cause yeah, I don't really know if I like how that looks. Maybe I should have done powder first. I don't really know, you guys. This video's already a mess. Welcome to my life. So I think I want to take this shade here and just put it all over. We're gonna try that. I think that shade looks really pretty. And it looked like it had a reddish undertone, but it's looking pretty just straight dark brown on my eye. Oh man, you guys. Try a little bit fluffier of a brush. Maybe that'll help it out. Yeah, this looks just really dark. See that? How it looks like it has a reddish undertone? That's what I was thinking. The audacity of me, I was thinking that's what it would look like on my eye. But it's not. It just looks like a really dark brown. But then over here, it looks more of that red tone. Okay, now it's looking darker. Well, I was not planning to go this deep dark and smoky, to be honest with you. But here we are. Now I think I'm going to take one of the toppers. I think I'm going to take this one right here, and I'm just going to try it with my finger. There we go. Lightening things up a little bit because I was like, we are looking dark. I like to apply, I don't know, some shimmers are different. Some of them work better with a brush, a wet brush. Some of them work better with your finger. That's kind of really just dependent on the shadow, and you kind of just have to figure that out on the fly, like what works best with what. I think this looks nice with my fingers, so that's what I'm gonna continue to do. I usually do something a little bit darker in the crease, but it already looks like it, like I feel like the base looks patchy. And you guys saw me blending, so I don't know, you guys. It'll probably look better when everything else is done. It usually does, but I'm really just not feeling it. I think that topper looks really pretty. The mattes so far just aren't my jam. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, and then I'm gonna be back for the next step. Okay, so I will say at least there really wasn't a lot of fallout, so that's a perk of what was going on there. Next I'm gonna do my eyebrows. I'm using the e.l.f. Instant Brow Lift Pencil. This is literally my holy grail. It's the one that I always repurchase. It's like $3. I'm gonna try and still do this so you guys can see, but also I'm gonna focus on doing my brows so they'll at least be cousins. Okay, once I've like kind of filled that in, then I go in, by the way, I have the shade medium brown in this. Then I go in with my next one, and this is the shade brunette, and I kind of just like fill in any weird gaps or where I feel like the hairs need to be a little bit more prominent. Okay, they definitely look weird today, but probably because I did it on camera and I felt pressure. That's gonna have to just be good enough for now. You can't, I mean, at least I cannot always win with brows. It'd be like that sometimes. Next, I'm gonna take a little bit of my Milani Bright Side Primer, I think. This is what I normally use. I just use a drop of this, like that. Like a little bit goes a long way, and I feel like it's really easy to get too much. So yeah, I'm just gonna rub this in. The next step for me is usually gonna be a cream bronzer. This is how I've been doing my makeup for months now, and I really like this kind of application technique. So I'm gonna take my TomFord bronzer. This is a shade in Light Duo. I have the shade 0.5. You can use a Real Techniques like dense brush. I think this is really good to use when you're using a cream under the foundation. I'm just gonna get that all blended in. And I'm just gonna start by stamping it where I want my bronzer to go. And like, this is literally, this bronzer is so good. Just like, look at that shade, the pigment, it literally just poof. And once we get that foundation over the top, it's gonna look so good and even more like blended out. So if it looks a little crazy right now, just trust the process. But yeah, I really love this bronzer. I probably won't be picking up a replacement once I finish it, just because I just like the bronzer. I don't like the thing at the top, and I just cannot justify $90 to only use half of the product. So yeah, but if they ever make singles, I'll be the first motherfucker in line. Let me tell you, I will. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set that to the side in case I want more over the top or whatever. I think I'm gonna go in. I was thinking I was gonna use my Huda stick, but I know that you guys have seen that a lot. So I think I'm actually gonna just go in with, what should I use today? Let's use something different, okay? Let's use the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisture Oil Free, what is this? Yeah, tinted moisturizer, basically. I've reviewed this and I really loved it in the past. What I do is I just put some on my hand like that, and then I grab my Rare Beauty foundation brush. This is my favorite foundation brush. It's actually the only thing I use to apply my base anymore, so highly recommend. I probably need to pick up a couple more, to be honest. And I'm just going to start applying that to the skin. Yeah, I think this shade is going to work for me right now. And kind of do around the areas first, around the bronzer area first. And then I will go back over the bronzer area just lightly so that it still is gonna like come through. Get that natural glow, see? Super pretty. Also, in this, I have the shade 1 and 2 Vanilla. And I think it's honestly like a really good shade for me. It looks like it might be just a bit deep right now. I feel like it has a smidge of a like pink undertone. So this is one that I typically will mix with my LA Girl Pro Mixer just to get the shade a little bit more neutralized for my skin tone. Now I'm just going to take the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I have the shade 2.5, and that is what I am concealing with lately. I'm really loving it. I think I would prefer something with like a smidge more coverage, but overall it blends out really nicely and it doesn't crease. So those are like the most important things. I actually just got approved through Octoly for the Bobbi Brown corrector. So I'm really hoping that putting the corrector under this will give me the kind of coverage that I'm wanting, and it won't be an issue. That is literally the whole reason I applied for that product, because I was like, man, if I paired that with this, it would probably be perfect. So that is like my goal. And I still do my concealer in these like more triangular shapes, because I mean, I feel like you should do your concealer not to like a trend, but to what works for you. And that's what works for me, because I need the coverage personally. If you don't or whatever, like, that is so great for you. But I need more coverage under my eyes, so that is what I do. Next, I go in with blush, and I feel like I have to keep moving everything because I have like my big mirror right here, and it's like right in front of my vanity thing where I am putting stuff. And yeah, I didn't have my products pulled out beforehand because I'm not prepared like that. So yeah, now I'm gonna go into a cream blush. I'm gonna use one that's new to me. This one is from Phytosurgence. It's in the shade Molten. It's their Skin Spark. I put it on the other day on IG just to like, for fun. I just put it on to try it. So I know I love this formula, and I'm just going to use the Sky Buff brush, also from Phytosurgence, to apply it. I just dip it in there a little bit and then go in. I like to keep my blush a little bit higher because my face is like long and chubby. So I feel like this technique brings my face up a little bit. Not a ton, obviously. It's not a facelift, but I'm trying. But yeah, I think that this shade is so pretty. If you're into orange blush, you need. I also just put like a little dollop on my nose because that was a trend like forever ago, and now I don't like my nose without it. So that's why I do that. Next I'm going to go in with Divine Daylight. This is from Phyto as well. This is their like limited edition new shade. It's a really nice bridge between their lightest shade, Mirrored Moonlight, and the next shade, Dew of Dawn. So I really like it. You can use it just on the high points, which I kind of do, but I also just like kind of take it everywhere, all over the cheek here, because it just like gives you a really nice airbrushed texture. And it just looks so good, like, whatcha? Like, it is so pretty. So that's what I always like to use. That's how I like to use it. I use their Sky Fluff brush. Yes, my brush is being cleaned. That is on my to-do list today. Next, I always go back in with the eyeshadow palette to do the lower lash line. So I'm gonna reach back into this. I like to pull a super like fine brush. I'm trying to look for one here. Anything that's just like flat edge, whatever. And I'm gonna dip it back in. I'm gonna dip it in this deep shade here, and that's what I'm gonna take. Gonna knock off the excess that helps with any like fallout on the lower lash line. And I will say, like, lower lash line is what I always like struggle the most to do. I don't know why. I just feel like it's difficult. What I like to do next is highlight my brow bone. I never really did this before, but I started doing it because I'm trying to get use out of my panning highlighter. So I'm just using, it's like a little dense brush like this. And just hitting it like all over, really. Because I think that that looks so pretty, especially when I have like a bronzed look. It just looks really nice, I think. Next, I do my inner corner highlight, which I'm going to use this shade from my KKW Beauty Classic because I'm in a panning competition, and this is one of the shades in there. So that's why I've been using an inner corner highlight, because I'll be honest with you guys, I never really do inner corner highlights. I think that they are really pretty. However, I get like, my eyes get watery in there, so it's like, doesn't really last that long, or it gets like that crusty feeling, so that's why I don't really do it. But I'm trying to hit some pans, so I'm doing it. Next up for me is usually liner, so I'm going to take this Tarte dual liner, and I'm going to use the cream side and my waterline. Once I have that done, I'm going to do my wing, which this is a nice like felt tip. I really love this one. I usually like kind of like balance my one arm on this arm to kind of give me like some stability, because I don't like want to touch the eye. And yeah, I usually only take my eyeliner like halfway. I don't know why. I've always done that. All right, there we go. I think that looks good. Next up for me is always gonna be mascara. So I'm just going to curl my lashes. And then I'm gonna go in with my Bite Beauty Upswing Mascara. This is a sample that's almost gone. I would definitely repurchase a full size. It's in my cart to do so when I need a new mascara, because this one is really good. Super lengthening, super volumizing, not super like clumpy or like, you know, that wet formula. It also doesn't give me like fallout throughout the day or anything like that, unless I'm picking out my lashes, which I do sometimes. I don't know why, but this one's really good. No, and 2 coats is usually what I do, and that works really well for me. Sometimes I will set my face with a setting spray or a powder. It just kind of depends on what I'm feeling. I'm not going anywhere today, so I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to use for lips my Glam Light. This is from their Happy Hour collection. This one is in the shade Rum. We'll see how this looks and go from there. Definitely very nudie. I feel like I want something with a little bit darker of an undertone. Okay, so let's try Whiskey. I don't really like either of those shades for this look. Let's try this gloss from KKW in the shade Nude 5. I don't know. I just feel like I want something like deeper. Okay, still not really the shade I was wanting. I was wanting something more like berry toned-ish, but I don't know, I'm over it. So I ended up using the shade Heartbreaker from Scott Barnes, and I just mixed it with the KKW that was on my lip already. So that's just what I ended up doing. I don't know what's going on today. I'm just having like a hard time with like organizing and putting stuff everywhere. I'm just feeling like not coordinated. I don't know why or what's going on, but I'm just not. So yeah, here is the final look. I think the topper saved it and they look really pretty, but like at first I was like, bruh, what is going on? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this was or wasn't helpful, because it ended up not being super technique-y, and it ended up being me like not knowing what to use or what to reach for. Like, I wanted to just do my staples, but then I feel like everyone's getting bored of seeing my staples, so I did some other stuff, and then I just felt like in a weird groove. I didn't have my stuff. It was just felt like a mess. So if you made it this far, thank you. Cheers to you. I appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave and ring the bell. Also, even though this video is a mess, give it a big thumbs up. I would appreciate it. I don't even know what I'm gonna call this, because it's just like, I don't know, get ready with me / shit show. That just seems like the most appropriate. But yeah, okay, anyways, I'm out, you guys. I'll see you in the next one.